top grades don't come from knowing more. They come from understanding better. Take that from me. Now let's make this physics question much easier. Now it says a circuit consists of a battery of unknown EMF connected to a resistor R1 equals 5 ohm in series with a parallel combination of R2 and R3. An ammeter placed in the main circuit reads 1.5 ampere. A voltmeter connected across a parallel combination reads 3 volts. If R2 equals 4 ohm, now A, we have to calculate the current through R2. B, calculate the current through R3 and hence the value of R3. C, the EMF, and D, the total power. Now, when you see a question like this, don't get scared. Don't get confused. Take it a step at a time. Now, first thing first, I always advise my students to do is to draw a simple diagram representing the entire circuit. Okay, now let's do that first. We are told a circuit consists of a battery. Now, what do we mean battery? Battery is simply the source of the electrical energy or the EMF. Okay, EMF is the electromotive force that drives the electric charge around the circuit. Okay, so the circuit consists of a battery. All right, so let's quickly draw that. So we have something like this. Okay, of unknown EMF. EMF is unknown. Okay, connected to a resistor R1. All right, so I take it up. Okay, this is my resistor R1. Okay, now we are giving the resistance of the resistor 5 ohms. All right, in series. Now this R1 is in series. Series with what? A parallel combination. Now remember, series simply means end to end, okay, such that the same current flows through while the voltage is shared across. While parallel simply means connected across, such that the same voltage but the current is shared across. So this R1 is a series with a parallel combination of R2 and R3. So what it means is that R2 and R3 are parallel, connected across. I guess you are following. So this becomes something like this. So I have this becomes my R2. All right, this becomes my R2 and this becomes my R3. Okay, so R2, R3. So this is a parallel combination. So R1 is a series with R2 and R3 that are in parallel. Let's go. An ammeter placed in the main circuit reads 1.5. So an ammeter is connected. So let's have my ammeter here. Okay, we are told it's 1.5 ampere. All right, a voltmeter connected across the parallel combination. Okay, so if I join this now, I have something like this. So we are told that a voltmeter is connected across the parallel combination and it reads 3 volts. So let's assume we have the voltmeter here. So 3 volts. Let's make it much more clearer. So this is 3 volts. All right, connected across the parallel combination. Now, if R2 equals 4 ohm, so the value of R2 here is 4 ohm. All right. Now, we are not given 3 questions or 4 questions to solve. Now, when you draw a simple diagram like this, it becomes very, very, very clear. Okay, so this is the diagram. Now, let's move on with the question. Now, the first question says, calculate the current through R2. Okay? Calculate the current through R2. Now, how do you calculate the current? Now, don't forget from Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So, voltage is equal to current times resistance. Now, I can make I the subject of the formula here, current, since I'm looking for current. So, I divide both sides by R, such that this takes care of this. Therefore means that my current is equal to voltage over what? Resistance. I believe you are following. Now the current through R2, this is R2. What is the voltage? Don't forget, it's a parallel combination. The same voltage flows. So the voltage for R2 is 3. Then we are given the resistance, that is 4. So therefore means V over R is what? That's 3 over 4. What is 3 over 4? 0.75 ampere. So the current flowing through arrow 2 is what? 0.75. It's as easy as that. Let's go to the next. Calculate the current through arrow 3 and hence the value of arrow 3. So current through arrow 3. Now we are told that the main current is 1.5 flowing through the circuit. Now don't forget, in a parallel combination, I said the current is what? Shared across. So the 1.5 current is shared across arrow 2 and arrow 3. Why? Because they are in parallel. It's a parallel combination, parallel connection, okay? But we already know that the current of arrow 2 is 0.75. So if out of 1.5, 0.75 goes to arrow 2, what will go to arrow 3? It will be the total minus that going to arrow 2. So therefore means that the current flowing through arrow 3, the current for arrow 3 is equal to what? 1.5 ampere, that's the main, minus that going to arrow 2, which is 0.75 ampere. So if you subtract that, it will give us 0.75 ampere as well. So therefore means that the current through arrow 3 is 0.75. Now we're also told to get the value of arrow 3. Value of arrow 3. Now arrow 3 is simply the resistance. So how do we get the resistance? Again, from Ohm's law, we know that V is equal to I what? Arrow. Okay. What is the V? That's the 3. Now the voltage. Okay. So 3 is equal to, what's the I? 0.75 over arrow. All right. So how do I get arrow? I divide both sides by 0.75. All right. 0.75. So that this takes care of this. Therefore means that my arrow is equal to what? 3 over 0.75. Okay. Ohms. All right, so that's the value for arrow 3. Now, the third question says the EMF. The EMF. Now, what do we mean the EMF? The EMF is simply the voltage going across arrow 1, that's in series, and then arrow 2 and arrow 3, that is in parallel. So the voltage across the entire circuit, across arrow 1 in series, then arrow 2 and arrow 3 in parallel. So let's start with the EMF. EMF, that's the voltage for arrow 1. Now don't forget, V is equal to what? IR. Now what is the current for arrow 1? 1.5. What is the resistance for arrow 1? 5. So 1.5 times 5, that gives us what? 7.5 volts. Okay, that's for arrow 1. Now let's move to arrow 2 and arrow 3. For arrow 2 and arrow 3, now, it's a parallel combination. So the same voltage flows across. And we are giving the question to be what? 3 volts. Okay? So therefore means that the total EMF, the EMF will be equal to what? That for arrow 1 plus that for the parallel. So series plus the parallel. That is 7.5 volts plus 3 volts. That gives us what? 10.5 volts. Okay, then lastly we have to calculate for the what? Power. Now power has a formula. What's power? VI, voltage times current. But by voltage now we mean the combined EMF. By current now we mean the current for the main. That's 1.5. So that's equal to what? 10.5 times 1.5. Okay, so why don't you solve this 10.5 plus 1.5 and type the answer in the comment section. Let me know that you are following, and of course use the appropriate SI unit. I believe you got value into this class. I am Tutor Frank and I teach you patterns nobody ever taught you. Don't forget to follow this page for more physics questions. Bye.